there's a deep issue in the roots of Santa Clara High School. This is in the form of the rules and curriculum placed in physical education classes. A physical education teacher can force a student in a leg cast to run and not be held accountable for mistreatment of students' well-being. The rules at Santa Clara High School currently require exact by-the-letter instruction of what a student can or cannot do. This means that if a student's doctor's note says that they cannot walk, but it doesn't say anything about them running, the teacher can force them to run, and when they don't run, can penalize them for it. The teacher, along with this, cannot get penalized for forcing a student to run because simply the doctor's note didn't tell them exactly if they could or could not, even if it said that they couldn't. It isn't fair practice to force a student with a broken leg to run because it doesn't state exactly if they can or can't on their doctor's note. After a certain point, this starts to go against the idea of what an educator should be for. If being an educator is not valuing a student helping them on their learning, then what is an educator for? A student is not being nurtured in being forced to mindlessly exercise when injured and does not gain anything. There is neither educational or physical in doing this. It's against the California state law as per California Health and Safety Code 124235. The athlete shall not be permitted to return to athletic activity until the athlete receives a written clearance to return to athletic activity from a licensed healthcare provider. The issue, however, is due to the current curriculum in physical education. This issue goes beyond just interpersonal and reaches institutional, as this issue is within that of the school itself. It isn't right that a student must have exact outlines for what they can or cannot do. It should be enough for a doctor to tell them this student is not in shape for physical activity, or they can only do blank. Or even the students themselves. Normally, the best course of action would be to modify what a student can do, such as if they cannot do intensive exercise, to do what they can do with frequent breaks. However, students can't even do this, as if the modified decision wasn't already explicitly said on the doctor's note, then it doesn't count. An example of this is when, due to my concussion, I decided with the teacher to walk with frequent breaks. However, since these frequent breaks were not on my doctor's note and points would be taken off every time I would go sit down to rest. There have been many incidents that have happened in this year alone, such as a student with a hip disability being forced to walk and having her accommodations be ignored. It's very well known that distrust runs deep between students and staff. However, this distrust is also what leads to innocent students to be forced to run while they are injured. The only thing that students want now is the ability to have what they can or cannot do be taken seriously and not be penalized for doing what they can. Students should be able to tell a teacher up front what accommodations they need and have it be taken seriously. Currently, what I am doing is I'm making this information into flyers in which I can spread around campus to bring awareness. By doing this, I hope to bring more people to my cause and more to help change this issue in education. For others to get involved in this issue and help support, please take a photo of the flyers and post them online to spread more awareness.